Hey everybody, it's Rich at RMAutodiag, and today we're having a look at a battery fault slash starting fault, and we're going to be using the Topdon BT100, and they sent this down to me from Topdon just to have a look and a go. So I thought, well, I've got a battery fault, so let's see what it can do. Right, so like I said, Topdon were good enough to send this to me to have a look at. Some stuff on the back there, and there is a little manual inside. Not too worried about that. So just got the clamps on, black on the negative, red on the positive. Here's the screen. So you've got battery test, cranking test, which is going to be your starting test, charging test. You can review your last data, change your language, and the about just tells you the serial number. So we're going to press enter. We are regular flooded, but we got a choice between all these different ones. We are SAE, can't really see the label very good there, but that is 770 as well. But you've got all the different standards that you can go through. EN, GIS, that's the one we want. 770, goes up in increments of 5. And if you hold it, it obviously goes a bit quicker on the up and down there. Do battery test. There we go. So we got the battery health. So we got 565 cold cranking amps available out of the 770, 54%. Charges at 100%. So we've got a good charged battery. Internal resistance 5 mega ohms there, and what the rated was. A bit difficult. Oh, there we go, that's a bit better. You obviously got a little LED indicator showing bad as well. If you get a good battery, it obviously comes up green there and orange in the middle if it wants it to charge before you retest it. So that's pretty good. So if we go down to, we can do a cranking test. So it says start engine, and it starts a countdown, so we can try it. So ignition on. Let's turn that down. Engine started. Rattly old thing. So we've got time to crank and start. I'll just turn that engine off a minute. As you can see, this engine has other issues. Right, so we've got the time it took to crank over and start. That'll be the lowest voltage it had, and we've got, you know, replace immediately. We already know that from the battery test. And we can do a charging test just to double check that as well. So start the engine, press enter, we'll do that again. Press enter, gives us our ripple, that's quite low. Increase 2,500, keep it there for 5 seconds. Press enter, continue. So press enter, come round, and we'll give it a bit of a rev up. I won't rev it too hard, so it has got bits off of it. Loaded and unloaded, good generator performance, so we're happy with that. Right, what I will do is shut this noisy thing off again. Obviously we've got a bit of a squeaky belt, but we've got other stuff going on here. But there's no problem with the charging on this vehicle anyway. As I say, it does give us the ripple as well. That's quite low for alternator ripple there. Obviously if that was too high, then you're going to have to suspect a problem with the diodes in the alternator. It's a nice little test. And the only other thing we can really do on this is review the data. And that gives us our last test result there. What I'll do is I've got a couple of other little testers here, and we're going to do bit of a comparison and see if they both fail as well, just on the battery test. Alright, so let's go for a quick comparison. I've got my old faithful snap-on here, had this for donkey's years. I suppose it's not exactly the same sort of tester, but very similar. You don't get to choose all the different SAE and what type it is, but and also actually there's a link in the description below. If you want one of these, they've given me a little 20% off code, so have a look at that, and if you want to pick up one of these, you can get a bit of a discount. So on this one, basically it works in a very similar way, but you can either choose whether it's over 650 or under 650. So we're over, so we've got 12.5 volts test, and we've gone down into the red, so that one's a fail as well. I think that was 200 some odd quid when I first bought it. This one is again quite an expensive tester. I have been comparing this to a few things over the last few days. I have compared it against the Bosch as well. Now I know the Bosch was about 900 quid or something stupid like that when it first came out. I know it's gone down in price a bit now, but considering the price of this little thing, I think it's quite a good little tool. It seems to have worked on everything I've tested so far. So we do a battery test, regular flooded, SAE 770, bad replace 515. So we got the same result out of that one as well. So that's probably the most expensive tester that I've got sat here right this second. So we've got the same result out of all three, and as I say, I've been trying this on a good few batteries. To be honest with you, I can't really knock it, certainly for the price. It's a brilliant little tool. As I say, Topdon have been good enough to send it to me. You know, if I thought it was a little rubbish, I'd tell you, but it's not. Handy little size as well. I mean, it's useful for any workshop, and as I say, any guys who sort of do this as a bit of a hobby or whatever, it'll be a good little tester. I say, especially with that 20% discount code in the description below. I'm not quite sure how many days that's going to go on for. I think it's on there for about a week. But yeah, that's the Topdon BT100 battery tester. Great little thing, worked every time for me, and performing exactly the same as the more expensive testers that I've got hanging around. So cheers for watching this one, guys, and we'll get a new battery on this car, and hopefully that'll be the end of this guy's troubles. Cheers.